Hi, in this video we'll talk about the router pattern in a multi-agent system. When we're trying to upgrade a single agent system to a multi-agent system, router is the simplest possible way to do that. So in this video we'll see what are the exact reasons or when exactly we might need the router pattern. So let's say you're working on a single agent system. You have a single agent with a single LLM. One LLM, one agent system. Now, in some cases, the prompt to this agent might get too complicated. How? It might get to have too many responsibilities. It might have too many tasks to accomplish that might be very different from each other. And this prompt is accomplishing too many responsibilities, has too many tasks to do. So in such cases, when the prompt has or the agent has too many responsibilities, the agent might not be able to perform as well as compared to if we had multiple agents with those specific responsibilities well divided. So that's the one reason in which we might need a multi-agent system or a router to route amongst these different agents. So too many responsibilities. Second reason is access control. So let's say one single agent, if it is accomplishing too many tasks, if it has access to too many tools to accomplish those different tasks and has those different responsibilities, in that case, this single agent has access to all of the tools that are a part of that agent, that are needed to do all those tasks. What if we don't need to provide access to one agent or for all the tools? What if we don't need to provide that access? In that case, we might divide all the tasks we might consider that we divide all the tasks or responsibilities of the single agent into multiple agents. So the second thing is access control. And the biggest reason for this is the system in which one agent has too many responsibilities is not scalable. What if we are trying to improve this agent on a single task and it breaks the performance on the other tasks? What if it breaks the other part? So in such cases, this system, we cannot improve one particular task or the performance of this agent on a single particular task. We cannot even scale. Let's say we have one particular responsibility that we need to scale. We need to apply a better model to one particular responsibility and a simpler model to the other responsibility or task. We can't do that because now we have a single model or a single agent doing every single thing. So we can't distinguish, can't have different models and save some cost on maybe one task, which might need just a simple open source model or a simple cheaper model. So that's the third part, which is cost effectiveness, scalability, separate improvements. So for this reason, you might consider using multiple agents instead of single agent. What would be the signal that will tell you that, okay, now I need multiple agents? I started with a single agent, simple solution, but now I might need multiple agents for this problem. The single biggest indicator is when you ask yourself that, okay, in the prompt, I have too much of responsibilities in that if this is needed, do this. If this is needed, do this. Act like a teacher when you need to teach. Act like a doctor when you need to, treat a patient. Act like a lawyer if you need to understand some legal aspects. So they're very distinguishing responsibilities. When you have something of that sort, you might consider using multiple agents specialized in those particular tasks than a single agent. So how does it work? Coming back to the router pattern, which is a big part of this multi-agent system. where does it actually stand in this whole solution? So let's say the user sends a query to my AI system. There is a router node at the very beginning. The only task of this router node is to understand the query and to understand the intent of the user on what this user wants us to do for this query or to solve this query. What is the intent of the query? So this router exactly classifies the intent of the query into multiple parts. Those are pre-decided parts. Intent A, for example, intent A, B, C, D, E. And we know that all the cases that we get are either in one of these 5 categories of intents. So this router will classify the intent of this query into one of these 5 intents, or 5 is just an arbitrary number here, but just as an example, but you can have any number of pre-decided intents or labels. So this router will assign a label, and then we have a simple code if else block saying if the intent is B, send the query to worker number B. And what are these workers? These are essentially the multiple agents that we have in our system. So let's say I have 4 agents, 4 workers. So the if else block of code is essentially directing these different intents queries belonging to particular intents or labels to a certain set of workers, like assigning them like this. Or it could be any assignment. We basically have a if else block of code. Okay, so just to summarize what we just discussed, the user sends a query, there's a router to classify this query into one of the n number of pre-decided labels, and then there is some piece of code that predetermines that if the intent or the label is A, B, C, D, E or any number of pre-decided labels, it will reclassify the query into and assign those queries to different workers depending on the labels. For example, if it's an online shopping platform and the query is related to billing, the router will classify the query as one of the pre-decided queries could be billing, refunds, product details, and these could be the intents or the labels, and depending on the exact intent, there would be different agents solving those different problems, and that's how the query will go to different agents or different workers in the system. So that's all about a router. How does this router look like? So the simplest router could be a kind of a rule-based algorithm. Rule-based system could be either depending on regex or a very simple traditional model like a BERT model or some of one of the traditional classification models, natural language classification models. Or it could be a very simple, lightweight language model, small language model maybe, or large language model. That would be acting as a router. It could be any of these. In advanced systems, it's often a combination of these. For example, if the query is very simple and you can classify with a certain confidence using regex or traditional models or even logistic regression, you can classify this with a certain confidence, then don't use a language model. basically save some cost, save time. So it might be a combination of these. Small teams usually start with language models since it almost always correctly classifies correctly and it's very accurate. And then when they scale up, they want to save cost and latency, then they move to a hybrid or one of these systems. All right, so that's all about a router. It's a very simple system to route a query to one of the agents or workers in our multi-agent system, and it's the simplest way to move from a single agent system to a multi-agent system. What if there are incorrect predictions by the router? What if it incorrectly assigns the query to one of these intents or one of these labels? So we have a way to handle that error. Um, it's handled in the level of the agents. So for example, the router incorrectly classifies intent B and sends a query to worker C. In that case, there has to be within the prompt a statement saying that please check if this particular query belongs to this particular intent or this particular intent or whatever intents belong to worker C or have to be classified to worker C or agent C. So it's kind of a method to double check whether the query belongs to that particular agent or not. So this is the fallback that we apply within those specific agents. And let's say if it's incorrect, if it does not match the right agent, so if the agent disregards that query as belonging to itself, in that case, there is a way to reroute that query. So it sends the query back to the router to reclassify it into one of the labels. So that's one of the fallbacks of an incorrect labeling by the router.